Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you direct from a local access cable channel near you, it's the Ricky Nikki Rivers Show. Tonight's episode comes to you live from the Fulton Community Center in East Canton, Ohio, as part of their On the Road with Ricky Nikki Rivers. Tonight's episode, special guests include Sheki Scanetti and Edie Buffet, domestic diva, Phoebe St. Self, gossip columnist, Polly Pettigullo, and more. So without further delay and with much ado, please put your hands together for the Ricky and Nikki Rivers!
Well, Nikki, here we are.
Yes, we are. It's great to be here with all these wonderful people.
Right you are, Nikki. It's great to be here in,
East Canton?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It is great to be here.
What a lovely time we've been having with our On the Road with Ricky and Nikki tour. Right, Ricky?
Right you are, Nikki. Traveling across this great big land, seeing all the great big land and all the great big people.
Stop it, you politically incorrect man. Seriously, you all look fabulous this evening. What an adventure it has been, especially in the last city we were in.
Yes, there was some sort of mix-up. Apparently the audience was expecting a tractor pull or a monster truck rally. Needless to say, they were less than happy to see us.
A tad hostile, they began pelting us with cheese fries and corn dogs.
And let me tell you, that cheese whiz just will not come out of a good cotton poly blend.
And it can be the dickens to get out of your hair.
And just so you know, there will be no tractor pull tonight.
There may be some leg pulling, but no tractors. Anyway,
folks, we really do have an awesome show for you tonight.
I can hardly wait. What type of show is it going to be, Ricky? You know, one of those shows where we reunite a lover with a crazed stalker?
No, Nikki.
How about child stars who are now serving hard time?
Negative, Nikki.
Secret crushes? I just love a secret crush show!
Not tonight, sorry, honey.
Please tell me it's not one of those self-empowerment deals or diet shows.
Now, Nikki, we have gathered a group of very talented people. People who are just like us.
Oh. A recovery show?
No, sweetie. What I mean is, people who are like us in that they will soon have their own show.
Really? What are they thinking?
Well, actually, what happened was Dr. Dunn canceled at the last moment.
Doctor who?
Dr. Dunn, author of Positive Thinking to a Thinner You. He couldn't make it.
What was he thinking?
But seriously, folks, we could stand up here and talk about people who have canceled on us all night.
Really, left us high and dry just because we don't pull in the big market numbers. I mean,
you know,
seriously.
Nikki, I think this would be a good time for a commercial break.
Just because we jumped cable networks a few times, I mean...
No, and I mean, we really need a commercial break. Sorry, folks.
Whatever. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Ricky Nikki Rivers Show, live from East Canton, Ohio, is brought to you by Sweet Prince Sleep Aids. For those restless nights, whether you don't know whether to be or not to be tired, Sweet Prince will help you get to sleep, perchance to dream. Available in pill, and gel cap form. When you need a good night's rest, Sweet Prince is the answer. Possible side effects include vomiting, headaches, constipation. If relaxation lasts longer than 4 hours, please consult a physician. Now, once again, here's Ricky Rivers.
And our first guests tonight are a husband and wife singing sensation.
They've once headlined the biggest lounges in Vegas, Tahoe, and Schenectady.
And soon they will have their own show on a local access cable channel near you. Please put your hands together for
the lovely and talented
Sheki Scanetti and Edie Buffet.
Welcome to the show. You both look fabulous.
Oh, and you two look fabulous, too. Don't they, Sheki? They look so much taller in person.
Right you are there, Edie. And let me just say, it is a delight and a sincere sensation to be on your show. And I mean that.
And such a great town. And such a great place, ain't it, Shaq?
Yeah, of all the community centers we've ever done, this is by far the most recent. Didn't we do this room like the Kiwanis Christmas party in '06?
Oh, no, dear. That was the Eagles Hall in Louisville.
Oh, yeah, Louisville. I spent a week there one night. I mean, to
You
tell ya.
two are so funny.
Oh, thank you. And you two are wonderful together. We just love your show.
Why, thank you. Speaking of which, you two will have your own show soon, won't you?
That's right, Ricky. Me and Shecky will be having our own show soon.
So tell us about it.
Oh, well, see, me and Shecky, we was getting tired of just singing and traveling and singing.
From Natchez to Mobile,
From Memphis to St. Joe.
wherever the four winds blow.
We've been in some big towns.
And I bet you've heard some big talk.
Did we ever? But we was in Cleveland doing a show, and our agent called us.
He says, "Hey, kids, how'd you like to have your own show? 'Cause there's a big market in this reality stuff." And I said, "Reality? Really? Who knew? I didn't know."
No, because me and Shecky, we was never really fans of reality.
Not so much.
I can only imagine.
So anywho, he called us and he said, "We want to send this camera crew out to follow you. Just kind of watch you do whatever it is you do."
And I says, "Hey, as long as you don't follow me into the toilet, you got yourself a deal." Bada bing, bada boom. We got our own show.
What a fascinating story.
Oh, it is. And we are going to have all kinds of fascinating reality things on our show.
Sure is. A reality show wrapped up in a talk show, all in one, only different.
Well, that certainly is different.
Yeah, reality show wrapped up in a variety show format.
And a cooking show.
Oh, what?
Real variety talking, cooking, but with the country slant.
Well, now,
Me and Edie, we're going country. It's the big thing these days.
you two don't strike me as country music people, are you?
But you gotta follow the money, Rick. If the pay's good enough, we'll learn to love it. Right, sweet lumps?
That's right. Me and Shecky, we've been learning to sing through our noses.
Does wonders for the sinuses.
Let me see if I follow you. It's a reality cook talk show with country music all in one?
Well, yeah, but we ain't ditching the standards and nothing. Me and Edie, we got Vegas in our blood. We're gonna throw in some Sinatra with all that hillbilly junk.
Oh, it ain't junk, honey. It's very beautiful music.
Yeah, whatever. If it pays good, I'll learn to sing about pickup trucks and six-packs.
Yeah, and we're going to have all the really big country stars on our show being all real and junk.
Well, that sounds absolutely enchanting.
We'll be sure to watch it, and thank you for joining us. And our next guest.
Wait a minute. Our next what? You mean that's it?
Well, what do you mean, Shecky?
I mean, that's it? We don't get to sing or nothing?
Well, I mean, perhaps if time permits, but you know how it is. We've got to keep the show moving. Only so much time for each segment.
Segment, schmegment? You two took all that time talking about tractor racing corn dogs, and you only ask us like 2 questions.
Shecky, just be a love. When you get your reality cooking talk show with country music, you can flap your trap all you want.
Well, you got that right. I'm gonna do a lot of trap flapping.
And our next guest is well known to housewives across America.
She is the Baroness of Better Housekeeping and the Queen of Crafts.
And she too will soon have her own show on the Divine Home Domestic Network. Please welcome
The lovely and talented
Phoebe St. Sel. Welcome to the show, Phoebe.
It's a pleasure to be here, Richard.
Oh, please, call me Ricky.
If you insist. But I must warn you about my formality. I simply feel it is more respectful to address people by their proper names.
Oh, you don't have to be formal with us, Phoebe.
Please, I prefer Mrs. Saint Self, and I'm well aware of your lack of formality, which is why I feel it is my duty to introduce proper etiquette to this program.
Why, thank you. I was going to pick some up this morning, but they were all sold out.
Thank you for introducing proper things to our show.
You're welcome, I'm sure.
Now, I understand you're going to have your own show soon. Why don't you tell us about it?
That's correct. It will be entitled At Home with Saint Self.
Hey, that's kind of like me and Shecky's show, ain't it, Shaq?
Real down home with Slim Scagnetti and Edie Buffet. This fall, Mondays, Channel 173.
As I was saying, it will be entitled At Home with Saint Self, and it will focus on domestic engineering.
Domestic engineering. You mean housework.
Yes, you may call it that if you wish.
I wish. Ricky and I can't afford subtitles, so forgive me if I translate.
Nikki, please. As you were saying, Mrs. Saint Self.
Yes, I was about to say that I feel women have lost touch with their place within the home environment. Their sense of duty and obligation have withered. They spend too much time on their careers and not enough time pursuing important matters, such as home aesthetics. For instance, I was appalled to learn that most women do not know the proper clockwise motion required to efficiently clean a pane of glass.
Well, I say, stop the madness. What an outrage.
Phoebe, sorry, Mrs. Saint Self. I understand you're going to be teaching us to make a creative home decoration. Why don't we head over to the station and get our hands dirty?
Well, no one will be getting dirty, least of all me. But I will show you how to make a sinfully luxurious paper chain streamer.
This should be TV gold. Speaking of chains, Mrs. Saint Self, you say women shouldn't have careers?
I believe their homes and families should be their careers. They should have time to prepare lovely meals for their husbands and children. Too many women these days rely on drive-through nutrition instead of experiencing the wonders of a food processor or a crock pot.
You got the crock part right of it.
So, we're going to be making luxurious paper chains.
That's correct. This is a simple creation anyone can do at home using scissors, glue, and recycled magazines. Of course, I use copies of House Beautiful. First, we'll take our magazines and cut strips of no more than 1 inch wide, like so.
And like so. On this new show, you're going to show us what? How to vacuum, do some dusting, make a tea cozy out of crepe paper?
Funny. Actually, we'll discuss the best way to vacuum certain types of carpets. For example, did you know that double-stitched wool blends are best cleaned at a 45-degree angle?
Is that how you get all them little lines going all the same way?
Actually, it's because the fabric is sewn at a defined angle, and it's best to approach with suction at alternate angles against the weave for maximum cleaning effect.
Oh, is that so? Huh. What did she say, Shecky?
I have no idea.
Any advice for getting Cheese Whiz out of a cotton shirt?
You might try a little club soda and vinegar. You might also try simply wearing an apron.
An apron.
Yes, an apron. It's a wonderful invention. Every housewife has one. Perhaps if you ever find occasion to step into a kitchen, someone will point one out to you.
You do realize I have a pair of scissors in my hands.
Ladies, please, here, Mrs. Saint Self, if you would. I seem to be having trouble getting my paper strips cut evenly.
Let me show you a nifty trick. So first we fold the sheet over twice, like so. And again.
And like so, on this new show. Are you going to put it with all those other useful domestic engineering programs like the handy dandy food chopper and the super duper smoothie machine?
I do not appreciate your sarcastic tone, Mrs. Rivers.
I don't think you appreciate much of anything, do you?
I appreciate a great many things. A place for everything and everything in its place. I appreciate the look of a neat and orderly household. And I love the smell of pine sol in the morning. It smells like victory.
I thought it smelled like pine trees.
So I have my paper strips ready. Perhaps we should move on to the final product.
Certainly. Next, we loop the strips and gently glue them together into a lovely chain. And what you end up with is, excuse me.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I ask Mrs. Saint a question? I was wondering if it's okay to vacuum a Velvet Elvis painting.
Question.
I'm not sure.
You're not
She's
sure?
an expert.
Well, Phoebe, perhaps if you spent more time at home and less time vacuuming up women's rights and teaching people things they learned in the first grade.
I do not need to stand here and take these ridiculous remarks.
Then don't. I'm sure there's some waxy buildup out there that requires the proper clockwise motion.
Nikki, please. As I said at the beginning, this is not one of our confrontational shows.
I'm sorry, Ricky. Forgive me.
Let's just head back to our seats, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, folks. I just lost my head there for a moment. Is it back on? Please continue, Ricky.
Okay, our next guest has been called the Princess of the New Age of Enlightenment. She's a druid, an astrologer, a psychic, and a certified public accountant.
And
this fall, she has her own new show on the Shocker Cable Network.
Please
welcome
The lovely and talented
Celeste Ethereal.
Welcome to the show.
Or is it Ms. Ethereal?
Oh no, Celeste is cool. I must say it is such a moving experience to be here this evening. To feel the energy in this room, the positive vibrations, the love.
So you can really feel energy and vibrations.
Oh yes, many vibrations.
I was feeling him too, but I thought maybe a truck went by outside, or else it was that burrito I had for lunch.
Shecky, you're such a stinker.
You don't gotta tell me.
So, Celeste, tell us about your show.
Oh yes, it will be a psychic talk show.
A psychic talk show.
So what? You gonna sit around and read each other's minds?
I knew you was gonna say that.
Well, if you know what they're gonna say, there's no point asking questions. Am I right?
You are an amusing man with a delightfully small aura.
There ain't nothing wrong
No.
with my aura.
What I plan to do is like channel spirits from the nether plane to speak through me, but like in a talk show kind of trip. I plan to interview celebrity guests from the great beyond.
Oh, wow. Dead celebrities. Really? Tell us, Celeste, who might we expect to see or to hear on this show?
Oh, I have connections with Jerry Garcia, Janis Joplin,
Janice?
Bert Holt-Brett, and Soupy Sales.
What a diverse cast there, Celeste. You know, maybe you could bring one of them up for us now.
Now?
Yeah.
You mean right now? No, I don't feel like the conditions are right.
What do you need, babe? Some incense? A lava lamp? I think Edie's got a mood ring in there if that helps.
No, it takes a lot of time to make the proper connections. I can't just snap my fingers and ring one up. It takes a great deal of meditation.
Meditation? You mean medication. You New Age weirdos are just a bunch of hopped up hippies.
Now, that was uncalled for, Mrs. St. Cell. Sorry.
Yes, you don't have to be such a negative vibe merchant. Your spirit guides around you don't like it.
Well, I don't like it either. This New Age weirdo stuff is just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Oh, no, it ain't either. Because me and Shecky saw a psychic one time, and he told us that we was going to be making a major life decision soon. And it all came true.
Well, what was this major life decision?
Either it was when we decided to cut the Kurt Cobain retrospective from the act,
It was solid.
or it was when we decided to cut dairy from our diets.
It was the dairy. And let me tell you, cutting the dairy was tough. I can't milk the jokes like I used to, but let me give it a try. So this guy, see, he walks into a doctor's office and he says to the doctor, he says, I got this horrible problem. I can't remember anything for more than a few seconds. See, in the doc, he says back to the guy, he says, well, how long have you had this problem? And the guy, see, he says, what problem? Oh, you didn't like it? No. Well, let me try again. So this other guy, see, he's walking into the bar, and he has this platypus.
Pardon me, but I wish to leave. This is a show I no longer wish to be a part of.
Part of. Mrs. St. Cell, you just ended your resident proposition. Come, have we no decency?
I most certainly did no such thing.
No, Mickey's right. You said part of.
Yeah, I heard it. She did say part of.
As if you would know proper grammar, you dizzy lounge lizard.
Who you calling Disney?
Oh no, the hostility vapors are giving me a sudden blockage in my eye.
I thought this was a halfway respectable show, but halfway is giving all you people too much credit, and that's exactly what you are, too much.
If the respectability factor is too low for you, Mrs. St. Cell, then you can respectfully remove yourself from the stage. Or as we little working women like to say, don't let the door hit you where the floor splits out. If this is what stay-at-home making Disney King dinners does for your family, then I'm glad I'm here tonight.
Well, I'm not. This whole show is a joke.
Joe! So see this grasshopper. He walks into the bar, and the bartender, he says to the grasshopper, he says, you know, we got a drink named after you. And the grasshopper says, you got a drink named Murray?
You see, you have no control, no decorum.
No sense
This
of
isn't a
humor.
talk show. This is a barroom brawl.
I've had enough of your holier-than-thou
Me
attitude.
holier than
You
thou?
and
What
your
about you
acrobat
prancing around up
rapping
here on
and
stage like
music
you're in some kind of a high school musical? At least when my husband gets home at night, I can be proud of the atmosphere I created with my own audience instead of waiting for
Are you feeling tense, rushed, like the whole world is crashing down upon you? Do you feel like you're in need of good B-complex vitamin supplement? Well, relax. Take it easy. Take some of that stress and worry away. Try Johnson & Masters brand mineral oil, full of the rich B-complex vitamins your system needs to feel at peace. It also contains a heaping helping of helpful iron and minerals that attack stress and tension where it starts. Johnson & Masters mineral oil will have you feeling cool, calm, and collected. Ask for it by name. Also try the new, improved 2-liter size. So chill out.
Just out of reach. She hears you, but you cannot hear her. I can hear her. Performs beautifully.
Welcome back. We are thrilled to announce we have just signed a new sponsor for the tonight's episode of the Ricky Nikki Rivers Show. The Jiffy Restraining Straps Company offers easy-to-use products for even the most assertive ruffians. Perfect products for any budget. Our straps can help restrain unruly pets, convicts, or talk show guests. In a Jiffy, you can have your problems firmly tied down and out of your way. Look for us online at www.tiethemdown.com. And now, once again, here's Ricky Nikki Rivers.
Welcome back. Our guests tonight are Shecky Scagnetti, Edie Buffet, and Celeste Ethereal.
Who was just about to channel someone up for us. Go ahead, Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste the negative vibe merchant is gone.
Calling all occupants of the interstellar planetary realms. I am connecting to the vortex and reversing the polarity of the neutron flow. I am channel surfing the sphere of spiritual continuum. Who's there?
Orange!
Orange who?
Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?
Oh, Shecky, sit down. She's channel surfing somebody.
All right.
Who wishes to speak through me? Yes? Uh-huh. Oh. Oh, no.
Maybe they was calling Colette.
Wait! Ariel, my spirit guide, has a message for someone in the audience tonight. Is there someone whose name starts with the letter S? If so, please raise your hand. Yes! This is very difficult to see in the darkness. You, on the left, my left, is your name Sarah, Sheila, Ann? Starts with an S, correct? Ariel was right? Sheila, Sandy, Sarah. Sarah, I misunderstood Ariel. Sarah, Ariel has a message for you.
If you run into my late Uncle Morty in there, I got a message for him. He still owes me money.
Yes, Ariel? Sarah did what? Really? No kidding? Sarah, is there someone in your life with the name Bob?
Yes.
I knew that! Does Bob drive a truck?
No.
A car?
Yes.
I knew that too! Does it have 4 wheels?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew that! What is Bob's relationship to you?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather! Ariel has a message for you about Bob, your grandfather. It will have a huge impact on your life. The most important thing that you need to know about Grandfather Bob is that... Yes, Ariel? Hello? Oh no, I'm losing the connection.
Can you hear me now?
It's gone. My chakras are clogged.
Try jiggling the handle.
There is just too much negative energy residue in this area. If I could just go and cleanse my aura and align my pathways.
Hey, the can is down the hall to the right.
By all means, I guess.
Well, Ricky,
Yes, Nikki.
has been some show so far, hasn't it?
Yes, right you are, Nikki. It sure has. And I suppose that means it's time to bring out our final guest.
Oh, great. There's more. Right you are, Ricky. Our next guest tonight is no stranger to this show. She has her new show debuting this fall called Celebrities Get Real.
She was a correspondent for TMZ, renowned television critic, and restaurant reviewer for the Salvation Army Bulletin.
Please put your hands together for
The lovely and talented.
Polly Pettigolo.
Well, thank you, darlings. It's fabulous to be here tonight.
Welcome again to the show, Polly.
Thank you. It's been quite an interesting little show tonight. I thought it was going to be another one of those boring plug shows where everyone says, watch my show, watch my show.
Well, it is ratings week after all.
Well,
Well,
that,
I said it was interesting. That doesn't imply good. Well, maybe if we had a human sacrifice, then that'd be something.
no.
Something? There's something familiar about you. Do I know you?
Probably. Everyone knows me, and I know everyone. Well, I should say I know things about everyone. Everyone who's anyone, that is.
Speaking of which, Polly, are you familiar with any of our other guests this evening?
Well, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I saw Edie and Shecky at some show in Chicago years ago. And I must say, even if they had any sort of rhythm, it still would have been awful.
Don't be such a hater, Polly.
Well, Polly, tell us about your show.
Well, it's called Celebrities Get Real. It's a survival-style show. Celebrities will be lured into awkward situations and forced to fend for themselves.
Fascinating. What type of situations will you have?
Well, in one episode, Keanu Reeves and Kevin Costner will have to act their way out of a large paper bag.
That'll take a while.
And in another episode, Britney Spears will have to sing live.
Oh, that is so cruel. What else?
Well, if they survive the ordeal, they will have the chance to stop any negative press I may have dug up on them. I'll have a giant rake they can halt. You know, as in a muck rake.
Are we allowed to say muck on the air?
Speaking of which, I should have been out here earlier. I happened to dig up some dirt on that Saint Self woman. Did you know that back in 2005, she went by the name Lola Saint Self? That prissy little cold-hearted prude was a Las Vegas showgirl.
Phoebe Saint Self was a Vegas showgirl?
Yes, and I'm surprised Checky didn't know her. He knew all the showgirls at one time.
It wasn't at one time. It was over a period of years. But I don't remember her.
I thought she looked a little bit familiar, but I...
Danger! Bad vibes! Creepy karma!
What on earth was that?
I'm not real sure.
I'm not sure it was of this earth.
So, Polly, your show is called Celebrities Get Real, right?
Yes, this fall on Real TV.
Well, we'll be sure to watch it, won't we, Ricky?
We sure will, so long as you don't feature us on it.
Well, I thought about having Nikki in an episode where they wheel her around in a red flyer around a hotel bar. You know, just to see how long she can stay on the wagon.
Did she say wagon? What?
Oh, look, folks. Hey, maybe we can get Celeste back out here. Hey, Celeste, it's Celeste is back.
I am so sorry about that little traumatic episode a few moments ago. That doesn't usually happen to me. But someone from the spirit plane was trying to warn me about something.
Trying to warn you about something.
Yes, I was mentally reaching into the astro thither to bring it hither when all of a sudden someone called me.
Maybe you'd ought to get an answering machine.
They were trying to warn me. Danger, hate, evil, murder.
Danger?
Hate?
Evil?
Murder?
Well, that certainly helped the ratings.
But it's gone. I got out my crystals. I wrapped myself in white light. I chanted my favorite Yoko Ono song, and it went away. They stopped trying to call.
Probably a wrong number.
was probably the Yoko Ono song.
No, I think maybe that was a Yoko Ono song.
I think that came from backstage.
I need to tell you. Thought you should know. She's gone. Horrible.
Easy for him to say.
Phoebe.
Phoebe.
Who's Phoebe?
I knew a Phoebe Franklin once. Had a dancing poodle act in the Catskills.
No, Phoebe is dead.
Dead? Mrs. St. Self? How?
Here, have a seat.
I don't know. Just dead. It was horrible.
So this death thing, tell us about it.
Well, she was yelling that she couldn't find something and wanted somebody to call her a cab, and then she started in about the crackers we had because they were stale. You know, I told them that we needed to get fresh stuff, but somebody thought we could just serve the corn dogs and cheese fries that we had left over from last night, and no one went in and got any fresh stuff, and the crackers were stale, and...
No, but she died. How did she die?
I don't know. She was just dead. No one was in there with her. No one wanted to get anywhere near her. So I went in there to tell her about the cab that she wanted me to call, and the crackers. And she was dead.
That's it. She was just dead.
Yeah, like lying on the floor, all, not moving, like someone who's dead. With the sparkly stuff all over.
Sparkly stuff. Interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, I didn't want to get too close, she was dead. But it kind of looked like the crystals that Celeste had.
My crystals? Oh no, now they are covered in dead vibes.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt the show.
Who is she?
Oh, that's Candy. She's Phoebe's bodyguard.
Well, actually, I'm just sort of filling in, as it were. You see, my brother Haas is actually her bodyguard, and I guess I didn't do a very good job. I was supposed to look after Mrs. St. Self while she was in town, and this is not good.
Yes. But I'm still trying to get past the part where she just died.
Well, it appears that way. I mean, it could be some sort of delusional paranoia, which one could attribute to her pseudo-celebrity status.
I'm sorry,
and
her
all.
what?
Well, Phoebe was convinced that someone was out to get her, so while she may have passed on in a natural manner, I may speculate that means one would assume that it would be an unnatural manner.
Okay. So I understood that for about the first 5 words.
Well, I'm not a police person or anything.
No.
But I did take some criminal investigation classes for my degree in art history. But it's my job to protect Mrs. St. Self. Well, at least it was my job. So I am required to ask all of you to remain in the area until the proper authorities have been called to procure a full investigation.
Are you implying that one of us may have killed Phoebe?
Yes, you could call it an implication.
Well, that's great. One of us is a murderer. Oh, this is good.
I'm sorry, but this is not good. We're trying to do a show here.
No, she's right. Well, yes. Suspense, mystery, intrigue. All right. New show, everyone.
No, it's not.
All right, what's all this then?
Who is this now?
Buzz Beckett, Bunko Squad. We just happened to be staking out an illegal bingo game in the area, whereupon I observed screaming and pursued the sounds to this area. Upon entering, I observed the body of a female lying prostrate upon the floor.
What was on the floor?
We think she was murdered.
Murder, huh? Well, homicide isn't actually my area of expertise, but...
Hold on, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. We're doing a show here.
Show?
Yes, a talk show. We're live.
Phoebe's not.
Talk show, huh? I'll need to ask some questions of you and Regis.
Ricky, it's Ricky Rivers. This is the Ricky and Nikki Rivers show. There's a giant banner. We're broadcasting right now, and now everything is ruined. You know what? Sorry, folks, cut. Just cut. Cut! We're done.
No, there's no cutting. We're going to keep going.
Keep going?
Don't you see, Ricky? This is better than any Springer or Povich show. We have a real-life murder right here on our show.
Guys, okay, I didn't say she was murdered. I merely implied that the circumstances would lead me to believe that it could be a possibility.
Is it just me? Or do her words come out all jumbled?
And who are you?
Oh, she's the bodyguard.
Bodyguard? Who's bodyguard?
The late Mrs. St. Self.
Well, I'm not a real bodyguard, but I did take a Tai Chi class, though.
What's all this about circumstances and murder?
Oh, that. Well, apparently, Mrs. St. Self had an uneasy feeling about being on the show tonight. She sent my brother this documentation with background checks on all the guests. Apparently, she thought that someone on the show could have caused her some type of harm.
I got that same vibe.
Vibe, huh? And you are?
That's Celeste Ethereal, psychic and CPA. Here it is. It doesn't specify much about Celeste. I guess she didn't know too much about her.
You see this?
She
Contract.
she may have known me in a prior life.
Contract for protection for Phoebe St. Self.
That's Phoebe, Mrs. Phoebe St. Self.
Uh-huh. In the event of fatality, please be advised. One or more such persons acting as said guests on talk show named The Ricky and Nikki Rivers Show on May 3rd may have cause to inflict fatality to myself. Signed, Phoebe. Phoebe St. Self.
But as you see, it doesn't specify who she was afraid of. She virtually had something on everyone.
Sheldon Scagnetti and Edie Buffet.
What?
Apparently, Mrs. St. Self was acquainted with the aforementioned party many years ago. They both were employed in Las Vegas. Back then, Mrs. St. Self went by Lola, and she was an exotic dancer and showgirl.
So you're saying her name was Lola. She was a showgirl?
Sorry, folks, but I already broke that story.
And I already told you, I didn't know any Lola in Vegas.
Sure you did, Shecky. The pit boss at the Sahara had a little poodle named Lola.
He had a Great Dane. Its name was Hamlet.
Oh, yeah.
Holly Pettigallo.
That's Pettigolo. Pettigolo.
Pettigolo, that's Italian for gossip. Just a bit of trivia I learned when I was in Italy.
Of course she did.
Anyway, I believe that Polly's name is on the list because she and Mrs. St. Self had a running feud for many years. You see, Polly writes a gossip column, and she wrote some pretty horrid things about Phoebe in the paper.
Well, it's a dirty job, but someone had to do it.
Oh, in fact, here's a clipping from the Weekly World I found particularly interesting.
Phoebe St. Self.
Phoebe!
Phoebe St. Self made a dreadful spectacle of herself last night on the Home Shopping Channel. Pawning off her cozy making kit for $49.95 was the most desperately pathetic attempt at marketing this reporter has ever seen. Someone should make a cozy for this woman's head and relieve us of her presence.
Oh, well, I was referring to her presence on television, not in her life.
This is fascinating. It's great, and I'm glad we're making progress, but we really need to...
I see you've got quite the catalog of the populace present this evening. Tell me, which of the potential suspects was in the area of the victim at the time of the perpetration?
What the heck is he saying?
That's what's so intriguing, officer. While Phoebe was backstage, all of us were out here.
So, in other words, she vacated this location and all of you were assembled in this region?
No, all of us was out here.
Well, that's what I said, ma'am.
It is?
Yes, all of you were here, correct?
Hold on a moment. All of us were here, except for Celeste. She was off in some other world.
Sorry, I am incapable of harm. It would be a bad karma kind of thing to do.
So, except for Celeste, no one else was in proximity to the deceased?
Well, the stagehand, of course, and her.
Okay, while this is true, I was in her proximity for a period of time. It's not entirely true. I was in her proximity for the entire time.
What do you mean?
I'll handle this. What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is I had to leave her proximity for a period of time.
Why would you leave? You're the bodyguard.
Sir! Why would you leave? You're the bodyguard.
Well, Mrs. St. Self had an acute obsession with germs in a slightly compulsive manner. She had to have prepackaged, pre-moistened antibacterial towelettes. Unfortunately, I brought the wrong kind, the non-antibacterial type. So I went to go see if I could go get some, and when I got back, she was, you know.
Oh, that's the other thing. She had one in her hand.
One in her hand.
A towelette thing. She had one clutched in her hand.
I don't see how that's possible. She didn't have any.
Fascinating.
Yes, this is all great stuff. Like I was saying, I'm glad we're making progress, but can we take a commercial break?
Fine, fine. That'll give me time to secure the backstage area and question all parties in relation to the area of the transgression.
What language is that?
That's cop speak, Shucky.
Oh, 10-4.
Oh, and you might want to question him, too.
Him?
Yes, him.
Him who?
You know, him.
God?
No, the announcer.
Oh, you mean Don Gatto.
Don Gatto. Where is he?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He never comes near the stage.
Well, I'll wait for him.
Great. While you wait for Gatto, can we please take a commercial break?
All right, you may. I want to study these reports on the crime scene further. But don't go anywhere.
That's right, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our fascinating murder mystery show right after these important messages.
We should sing.
The Ricky Nika Rivers Show will return right after you enjoy your desserts, brought to you by Amelin Sweet Shop. Man, these people on this show are getting crazier by the minute. I really need to get my resume in order and get out of this stupid...
Hey, stop talking like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of the Ricky Nika Rivers Show. Just look at the studio, filled with fabulous suspects. So please welcome our very special guest host and your investigators for the evening, Buzz Beckett and Candy Kafka.
Hi, welcome to the investigation.
Affirmative you are, Candace, and quite a special investigation we have for you this evening.
Yes, Buzz, we do.
You know what? Stop. Stop. I wanted to do this, but truthfully, this is a stupid idea. We should not do this. I mean, here we are in...
East Canton, Ricky.
Thank you, dear. East Canton, and we were having kind of an okay show when one of our guests just wandered backstage, had a heart attack or a fatal ailment or something, and then all of a sudden, you come in here and start going off the rails on this crazy train. Now we're talking about murder and suspects, and you're in the middle of my show with this investigation, and you know what? Now that I've started, what do you even have to go on? Nothing. That's what. She wasn't stabbed. She wasn't shot. She wasn't anything. She was just mad. She wandered off and died. And you know what? It's not a big deal. It happens all the time, I'm sure.
What happens all the time?
Stuff. Stuff happens all the time. People die all the time. It doesn't have to be a reason. That's all I'm saying.
You know, I had a philosophy class where we discussed this very issue. When you gaze into the abyss gazes into you. Anyways, I digress. The issue regarding tonight's events is one cause and effect. The effect was Mrs. St. Self's death, and this is the cause.
Oh, that thing. Remember when I said she had a thing? Well, that thing is the thing.
And she used it right before she died.
So, my Uncle Bernie died with a weed whacker in his hand.
So,
He was out in the yard,
so,
whacking weeds.
so,
He just keeled right over.
okay, so,
They
but,
couldn't pry his fingers off.
are you done?
They had to bury him with it.
Do I even need to be here?
I'm sorry, you seem to have no time for my deep personal tragedy. Please continue, Rich.
Truer words have never been spoken. All I wanted to say is, so what? If she had a wipe in her hand and the last thing she did was wipe her hands, so?
Well, as you recall, Mrs. St. Self didn't have a wipe. She wanted the antibacterial kind, and I only had the plain moist kind. This is an antibacterial kind. Where did this one come from?
I don't know. Maybe she found it after you left.
Maybe somebody gave her one.
So she antibacterialized herself to death, and then what? How could that kill her?
Because it was tainted with the extract of the Ubangi River newt.
The Ubangi who?
The Ubangi River newt, a lizard indigenous of the Congo region.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, she's not. Well, when Shecky and I are done performing late at night, I watch TV to unwind, and I love the Animal Channel.
Queen of Animal
The
Planet.
spider monkeys are my favorite. They're so cute.
All night.
But there was an episode about this river newt, and it has like poison spit or something.
Correct you are, Miss Buffet. The expectorant of the river newt is highly toxic, in fact, deadly. Just a small amount placed on the epidermis can be fatal.
Someone want to translate that for me?
I think she said, if the newt spits, don't wear it.
Let me see if I got this straight. Someone had this river lizard newt thing, and what? They had it spit on a towelette? Are you crazy? Do you have any idea how far-fetched that sounds? Are you like a river newt expert or something?
Well, I did take a class in zoology at Mount Union, and I did a paper on exotic secretions. I recalled that the fluid emitted from the Ubangi River newt has the distinct aroma of stale mangoes. Here, smell. Try it.
Good.
Oh no, it's okay. The aroma is harmless. You just can't get it on your skin. If you do, it paralyzes your respiratory system and you die instantly.
Yes, the towelette. I'm getting strong psychic waves. Or maybe they're particles.
Did a paper on exotic secretions. I recalled that the fluid emitted from the Ubangi River newt has the distinct aroma of stale mangoes. Here, smell. Try it.
I'm good.
Oh no, it's
not gonna
okay.
bring that over here, is she?
The aroma is harmless. You just can't get it on your skin. If you do, it paralyzes your respiratory system and you die instantly.
Yes, the towelette. I'm getting strong psychic waves. Or maybe they're particles. Not sure. They're either strong psychic waves or particles. Or some fuzzy combination of both.
Somebody shoot me! Or her!
Evil! Bad evil! Bad evil poison towelette!
Thank you, Mrs. Uriel. We've already ascertained that information.
But the information we don't have is where did she get it? You said that she didn't have a towelette on her, and none of us would have given it to her. We were all out here.
Be a dear and get my glasses.
That is, all except Miss Ethereal. You were backstage for a brief period, am I correct?
Yeah, she was clearing her channels or something new agey like that.
Mr. Officer Buzz, I swear to whatever deity or deities you may follow, I did not harm anyone. Now it's true, sometimes when I'm meditating, I drift really far out there, and I'm not entirely sure what my body is doing while I'm on the other plane. But I am sure that my corporeal body would tell me if it did something bad, say, kill someone. I'm sure it would tell me when I return, leave a message or something.
Okay. I can pretty much bounce Celeste. I was there, back there, backstage. And I saw Celeste. I saw her the whole time. She was sitting in the corner doing her weird yoga thing, just meditating, oming the whole time. She didn't move. Well, there was that one time when she started like freaking out, running around yelling, danger, danger, danger. And, I was trying to catch her and keep her off the stage. But her body, didn't kill nobody.
Is that right?
Well, there you have it. Nobody was near her at all.
I think we're missing an important fact here.
I'm missing more than one. I've been lost ever since the spitting frog thing.
No, Jackie, it was a spit new. Were you paying attention? Somebody put poison on these things. She wiped her hands and it killed her. And then we was all trying to figure out who had done it. But we was all out here. Except for Celeste, whose body was back there, but her mind wasn't.
Thanks. It's all here.
Good.
Let me bring you all up to speed with a question I would like to pose. You were all out here during the show, but where were you before the show?
Right before the show. One of us could have done it then.
Done what then?
Oh. Then what then?
Well, gotten into Phoebe's purse.
Her purse.
I'm lost again. What purse?
This purse?
Whose purse?
Mrs. St. Self's purse was near herself in an open fashion.
And when she was looking for a towelette, I asked her if she checked her purse, and she said she didn't have to. She knew for a fact that she didn't have one in it.
And then, upon proceeding into the room after her demise, her left hand was clutching a towelette. Whereupon, I observed, at this time, her purse to be the source from whence the towelette originated from.
Wait, what?
Something about the purse.
Again with the purse.
For all intents and purposes, it would appear that Mrs. St. Self checked her purse anyway. Perhaps an unconscious uncertainty forced her to look into the purse?
I'm getting something about the purse.
Well, I'm not. And I'm done with the purse.
Ariel has a message for me about the purse. Yes, Ariel? Show me. I can see it and feel Phoebe's thoughts. She's unsure about wiping her hands. Maybe in the purse. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, Ariel? Okay. She opens the purse to see the medieval towelette. Hands being wiping, sting, hot, oh, bad, hot, evil skin feeling, danger, can't breathe, darkness, fading.
Anyway, somebody put something in Phoebe's purse when she wasn't looking.
You understood her?
Of course, one of us could have planted it.
Now, wait a minute. What makes you think it was even planted?
Well, because of this.
And that is...
Insurance.
All right. Unless we're talking about insuring the ratings, which I would understand. I'm lost again. Insurance?
Well, what I mean is this is insurance that Mrs. St. Self would receive a fatal amount. This is another packet that remains sealed.
So she got it from in her purse. But why would she even look in there if she knew she didn't have one?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who cares?
Perhaps she was looking for something else and just happened to find one. I mean, at least one of them.
You'd better let me have that, Miss Kafka. I'll have it dusted for prints and tested at the lab.
Now, do you want to tell me, how would you even get this so-called newt saliva in there in the first place?
Well, it may have been manufactured by the perpetrator to appear as a genuine article. Or one could use a common household syringe to inject the hazardous liquid into the package.
What I don't get is why go to all the trouble? I mean, if somebody wanted to kill Phoebe, there are much easier methods.
And what might those methods be, Miss Pedagolo?
Well, what I mean is injecting some sort of rare poison into a sealed towelette. There's intercontinental travel involved. Jungles, loops, sealed towelettes. It's also sorted. And why tonight? Why this show?
Maybe their intention was for her to die on stage.
Now that would have been great.
Yeah,
raise a valid
died on stage lots of times. It's a big deal.
You do raise a valid point, however. It does seem peculiar that the incident occurred on this particular evening, during this particular program, and that the methodology of murder was so meticulous.
Yes. The killer would have had to know a lot about Phoebe, such as her habits, the compulsive hand wiping, the fact that she only used prepackaged pre-moistened antibacterial towelettes.
Well, that raises the question of how many of you knew who the other guest would be tonight.
Me and Seth didn't know till we got here, didn't we, Seth?
I'm still not sure who's here tonight.
Did anyone know in advance that Mrs. St. Self would be here tonight?
Well, I knew who all the other guests were going to be, but I always do. It's my business. It gives me time to dig up the dirt, as it were. And you never know when you may need a little venom to... Well, I don't mean venom as in venom, like the poison type. I mean gossip. You know, the juicy stuff. Well, I don't mean juicy as anything like a toxin or a secreted type of poison. What I mean is...
Holly, we understand.
Well, I, for one, knew who would be here this evening, but like no one had to tell me. I saw it in a vision while sitting in a vortex in Sedona, Arizona.
So, some of you knew in advance that Phoebe St. Self would be here this evening. And you, Miss Kafka, were her contracted guardian for the evening, correct?
Well, no, my brother was. I'm just filling in.
And you're filling in because?
Well, my brother had tickets to see the Buck Naked Band at the Dusty Armadillo.
And did you know at the time prior to this particular event would require your attention?
No, I just found out a few hours ago.
So, which one came onto the program first?
Oh, that would be me and Seth.
So, Mr. Stagnetti and Miss Buffet were out here the whole time, during which Mrs. St. Self was present. That would mean Miss Ethereal and Miss Pedagolo would have been backstage for a period of time in the general region of Mrs. St. Self's property, that being her purse. This fact would have given either of them a window of opportunity to deposit the tainted towelettes.
Excuse me, but I don't kill people with poison. I use the pen.
Interesting.
Would you like to say something with the group, darling?
Well, something Polly just said reminded me of something I remember in a criminal investigations classes. There's this concept called murder, not murder, motive. And it usually proves to be very important. You see if Polly would have been murdered tonight, the motive would have been pretty easy to assume.
I beg your pardon.
Well, no offense, but you do write some pretty unkind things about people in the paper. One might make sure that you never write another negative thing again.
It's a thought.
But why Phoebe? I mean, she could be pretty annoying and tyrannical, but that doesn't warrant murder.
It doesn't?
No, there must be something deeply rooted here. A long-standing grudge or something from the past.
Or maybe it was this crazed fan stalker killer guy who was like obsessed with her, you know? He had like a million pictures of her like all over his walls, and he wrote her all these weird letters, and she never responded, so he like flipped, you know, just snapped. So he took a big red marker and put X's through her face, and then ripped the pictures down and tore them into a million pieces and took them in the backyard and then burnt them and then buried the ashes in a shallow grave, and then he tracked her down here tonight and planted a towelette. Or not. I'm just saying.
So, Mr. Scagnetti, according to the investigative background search, you and Mrs. St. Self were employed at the same Nevada hotel.
I already told you I didn't know any Lola in Vegas. I knew a Lanny, a Lulu, a Lori, and a Lucretia, but no Lola.
Did you have any sense of familiarity with the female decedent who was here previously this evening?
What did he say?
I think he wants to know if you ever met the little prude who's no longer alive.
Oh, well then no, not really.
I thought she looked a little familiar.
She did.
Yeah. Oh, I think I saw her picture on Good Housekeeping when I was at the dentist office. I think that's where I knew her from.
I never saw her before tonight.
So, which of you invited her onto the show?
That would have been my dear husband, Ricky. I personally couldn't stand the woman. I mean, not enough to kill her or anything. Just the usual animosity, you know?
Well, I only invited her because she fit with our theme. She was starting her own show. That's why all these people are here tonight.
So, only a few of you knew she would be here tonight. And only a few of you were backstage at the designated time. Since there were no witnesses and whatever evidence we have is circumstantial, I'm afraid we don't have much of a case. I'm afraid I'll have to forego any further investigation. We reached proverbial stalemate.
A stalemate? You really think so? What about the fact that Celeste was backstage and the crystals were on her body? Yes, it's circumstantial, but it's something, right?
It's something, all right. I don't know what, but something.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Phoebe knew someone was out to get her tonight, and they did. They accomplished it without anybody seeing or hearing or knowing anything about it.
There's no clear motive, no substantial opportunity. I say we terminate the investigation and contact the proper contingent of law enforcement authorities.
I guess he's right. No witnesses, no clear motives. Besides, I've got a paper due tomorrow on the metamorphosis, and
You're all giving up too easy. I see all kinds of junk here. Look at Checky. It's obvious he's lying about not knowing Phoebe. He probably had some wild affair with her and then dumped her before Edie would find out. So Phoebe, who was actually Lola then, started blackmailing Checky to get money to start her own show.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And Polly with the whole gossip thing. Maybe Phoebe had dug up some juicy dirt on Polly and was going to tell everyone. So Polly came and killed her before the show so no one would find out. I think I've been working on talk shows too long.
What do you think, Nick?
I don't know, Ricky. What do you think, Officer Buzz?
I think we should turn it over to the appropriate authorities.
I think we should turn it over to the audience.
Oh yeah, like one of those murder mystery dinner things where they let the audience vote.
Yeah.
What a stupid idea. Aren't these the same idiots who pelted us with cheese fries?
No. That was in Malvern. These people here tonight, they already have little slips of paper and pencils at their table. They can really write in the name of who they think did it and how they did it. Come on, this will be fun times. And we'll even collect the votes. Was it Polly? Shecky? Edie looks a little guilty running away.
Oh, no, I was just going to sit here for a while.
Celeste. Or me.
honey, please.
Oh, or Ricky!
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, come on. This will be fun times.
Nazis at Channel 300 are off in their bunker. We can bring some class to this affair. And for all those who thought that the cream of Vegas can't do country music. Well, if this world keeps on turning, as I'm sure it's bound to do, I'll keep on loving you. And if the stars stay in the heavens and the moon stays in the blue, I'll keep on loving you. But if things were changed, the world would stall, the sun wouldn't shine, the stars should fall. I wouldn't care as long as you're mine. It wouldn't matter to me at all, 'cause if the dawn comes tomorrow, and we both know that is true, I'll keep on loving you. Edie, there's something I've been wanting to tell you, but I'm not sure exactly how you're gonna take it.
Oh, Shecky, you can tell me anything, anytime.
Well, all right. If you kill Phoebe St. Self because she made you feel blue, well, I'd keep on loving you.
That hussy,
you're barking up the wrong tree.
The truth, I'd keep on loving you, 'cause it's me for you and you for me. No Vegas showgirl in between.
You for me for you. I promise, Edie, I'll be true.
Now wait a minute, Shecky. When you say you promise you'll be true, you mean you promise you have always been true, right?
I think you're missing the point here, Edie, which is that in life, as in this song, you and me, we're gonna make the big finish. 'Cause if the sun shines on Las Vegas, and we both know this is true, I'll keep on loving you. For our next set, we'd like to begin with a little Sinatra.
No, just one.
What do you mean, one?
We gotta keep going.
They're obviously into us, kid.
No. We gotta keep going.
I've never been in such a
It's okay if you don't want us to
And
sing,
now,
that's
once again, here's the Ricky Nick Rivers Show.
Welcome back to our fascinating murder mystery show. This is like we've been playing Clue or something. It's so great.
It was Colonel Ketchup in the drawing room with a monkey wrench.
Now we're getting heckled.
We've never been heckled. This is great.
It was Mrs. Mustard in the basement with a broomstick.
Very funny. To the point of being annoying, really.
Who's doing that?
It was Tony Montana in the shower with a chainsaw.
Holy
She's alive.
She's come back to us from the other side. This is so beautiful, but a little trippy.
How did you?
What on earth is she wearing? Is that from the street corner collection at Walmart?
Mrs. St. Self, are you okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm okie dokie smoky. But it doesn't look like my sister fared too well.
Sister? Phoebe was your sister?
Don't worry yourself, none. Happens all the time.
What happens all the time?
You know, people mistaking me for my sister, my twin sister. I heard old Phoebes was in town doing this talk show. I thought I'd drop by, see how she was. It's been a while, you know?
We could have done a reunion show!
Okay, yeah. The evil twin thing. She kills the goody two-shoes sister to gain some sort of big family inheritance and
Whoa
then...
there, buddy. I ain't no evil nothing after no family inheritance.
Excuse me, miss, but I'm perplexed.
And I'm Sissy Kowalski. Nice to meet you. But my friends call me Lola. Lola, Lola.
Lola? You're Lola? We were under the impression that Phoebe was Lola.
Don't worry, that happens all the time, too. Or should I say happened all the time?
Wait a moment. My sources in Vegas told me that Phoebe went by the stage name Lola. I have the documents to prove it. And the paychecks she collected were made out to Phoebe, not Sissy Kowalski.
Great. I sense a backstory coming on here.
Right you are, Ricky. Here it is. Phoebes and me never got along. She got everything she wanted. The big house, the rich husband, all the bucks. Me, I got squat. Phoebes was a great squat giver. And the bigger she got, the more I got squat. You want to talk about the evil twin? It was Phoebe. She turned the whole family against me. Everyone. I was the designated black sheep.
Oh, me too, honey.
Me too.
We could have done a whole black sheep show!
So what happened is, I swore I'd get back at Phoebe one day.
Getting back. Tell us more about that.
Well, I hitchhiked around the country for a while, and I ended up in Vegas. I got a job in a show as a dancer, and meanwhile, I hear that old Phoebe is making quite the name for herself with this home economics racket, you know. And so I start thinking, since we look so much alike, it would be kind of funny if I used that to get back at her. So I used her name for everything. I figured somebody like nosy Parker Polly over there would dig up the dirt, and it would all hit the fan.
But if you were so bent on revenge, why are you here tonight?
Sure, revenge felt great, but using Phoebe's name posed a few payroll and tax problems. Plus, I felt a little guilty.
That's okay. Feeling bad is good. Can we get some tissues, please?
That was only part of it. The other part was the letters.
Letters.
Yeah, I was getting these weird letters. No thank you. Some wacko thought he was in love with me.
That's okay. Millions of men write me love letters.
Me too.
Yeah, but do they tell you how they like to dress up like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz?
Well, some of them.
How about put butter on your earlobes and pickled herring between your toes?
Only a very few.
I got hundreds of them from the same person. And then they started getting threatening.
Poor thing. What did you do?
Well, when the last letter said he was going to find me and kill me, I quit. Next thing you know, I was leaving Las Vegas.
Excuse me for a moment. But the person writing these letters were writing to Phoebe St. Self, correct? Not Sissy Kowalski?
Well, that's what I wondered. Phoebe's face was everywhere. Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, Cigar Aficionado, Classic...
Wait a minute. The peanut butter lobe loser guy thought that Phoebe was Sissy, because when Sissy was Lola, she was being Phoebe. So he thought that Phoebe was Lola, but really Lola was Sissy.
Yeah, I followed that logic train right off the rail.
That would explain Phoebe's paranoia and why she had background checks run on all the guests here. And I bet when you quit, all the mail got forwarded to the real Phoebe.
Could be, but sweetie, Phoebe was always paranoid. She used to think my Barbie dolls were giving her disapproving looks.
But we can't ignore the fact that Phoebe thought someone was out to get her tonight, and they did.
I bet it was the pickled herring guy. He's probably here tonight.
Well, you can count me out. herring gives me a rash.
There you go, Buzz. It's someone here.
Yes, well, I believe we have enough information to launch a full-scale investigation. I'll just go make a phone call.
Excuse me, people.
Who the heck is that?
Ariel, is that you?
No, that's the announcer. What is it?
I couldn't help but overhear most of what went on this evening, and I think I can be of some assistance.
Oh, could you please? We're awfully tired and we'd all like to go home. We just need some answers.
But my dear, you've had the answers all along.
We have?
Yes. You want to know who wasn't present on stage at the critical moment, right?
Well, yes, but we've gone over this. There was Celeste and Polly and the stagehand and me, of course, but
Yes, and who else?
nobody.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm getting something.
Me too. It's called a headache.
Letters. Hundreds of letters. Evil. Stalking. Tracking. Lola. Phoebe.
I can't think of anyone else.
Wait! The announcer!
No, not me. Whose presence is unexplained here tonight? Who just happened to show up at the show at the critical moment, well after the murder had taken place?
That one guy out there.
Archie Sanders?
That's enough out of you. All right, nobody move.
Oh, right. Buzz was also not here the whole time, and he did happen to show up at the critical moment.
But he's a cop!
Are you certain? Did anyone look closely at his badge? Did he show it to anybody?
Well, not as such.
The crazed fan. I was right. Awesome. He's the pickle herring earlobe guy. He probably showed up and planted the towelettes before the show.
Right after you were chasing Celeste around.
And then put my crystals on her body to make everyone think it was me.
Of course. How could I be so naive? A real cop would have sealed off the area. Forensics would have been into dust for prints. This place would have been swarming with detectives.
This is great. This is so great.
I should have known.
Excuse me, this is not so great. I believe he has a gun.
Yeah, you should have known.
Well, you had us all fooled, pal.
No, I was the one who was fooled. I was tricked. Didn't make sense. How could I know there was two Lolas? You're the real one. The girl I wanted.
I remember! You all kept going on about Phoebe and Vegas, and it wasn't either. It was New York, and it was her. Her name was Lola. She was the showgirl. But that was years ago.
Why? Why didn't you answer my letters? All I wanted was just one little note, a few words.
Few words? Oh, I've got two
no,
words for you,
don't,
buddy.
dear, please.
It's a family show, dear. Thanks.
If I couldn't have you, then no one could. You were mine. Then you became this snooty housewife woman with crafts and clockwise dishwashing procedures. I want you to dance. Dance for me one last time before you die.
Yeah, I'm really not feeling it right now.
Dance, I tell you.
You're not my boss.
If I might interject at this moment, he does have a gun.
I'm thinking dancing's a pretty good option for you at this juncture.
You dance for the guy.
I don't think
He's
he
all
wants me to
nasty and
dance.
sweaty. Ugh.
Sweaty, huh? Well, perhaps if you wipe your face, the nice Lola will dance for you.
Here you go, Mr. Buzz. I have just the thing.
Oh, well, thanks. Hang on to that.
She's got the gun. Shoot him. Shoot him. Well, no. Hit him with the... Give me
That. There, see? Now I'm not all sweaty and stuff. I've wiped my face off. Oh, no.
All right, buddy, don't move. I've got you covered. covered.
Polly, he's a... Never mind. Good job.
Are they still taping? Did they get this? I can see it now. Polly Pettigolo, Neb's dangerous killer.
I'll go call the real authorities.
We're going back to Vegas and never leaving town again.
I've got it! It came to me in a vision. It's Buzz. He's the killer. He's not really a cop. He's... Oh, wow. Far out. Sorry. Little late.
That's all right, Celeste. Well, Ricky,
Yes, Nikki.
has been some shows so far, hasn't it?
Right, you are, Nikki. If all the shows we've done, let me just say, this is certainly one of them.
Who's on tomorrow's show?
Not real sure, Nikki, but I know we'll be there.
That's right, we'll be there, so you'll be there.
Good night, everybody.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jolene Moody. I've had the pleasure of being the director of this show tonight, and we just hope that you had half as much fun as we have had in the past several months doing this. I want to thank everybody you see on stage in front of you tonight. They have been terrific to work with.
Andrew Bailey as Ricky Rivers.
Ida Gorman as Nikki Rivers.
Terry Bailey as Shecky Scagnetti.
And Jolene Moody as Edie Buffet.
Elizabeth Bushy as Polly Pettigolo.
Chrissy Morton as Candy Kafka.
Jillian Corby as Phoebe St. Self and Sissy Kowalski, a.k.a. Lola.
Mindy Cooper as Celeste Ethereal.
Colin McCauley as Colin the stagehand.
Kenny Jeffries as Buzz Beckett.
Jeff Berner as announcer guy, a.k.a. Don Gatto.